Captains are a really important part of FPL, and choosing the right one can make or break your game week. That's why we're going to analyse the data and pick the best captain for game week 11. As you can see, I've been doing this since the restart last year and I've got a solid record. So let's take a look at the 4 players on the shortlist this week. First of all, you've got Kevin De Bruyne and Riyad Mahrez, who both faced Fulham at home after beating Burnley 5-0. Bruno Fernandes has the only away fixture on the list against West Ham. He does have a great away record though this season. In his last 4 games, his points have been 12, 11, 17 and 10. And last on the list, we've got Timo Werner, who looks like he's starting to find his feet a little bit in the Premier League. But his opponents are Leeds, and they also look like they might be finding the feet a little bit in the Premier League. They got a clean sheet in the last match against Everton, so we'll see about that. Speaking of the German, he's got the best non-penalty expected goal per 90-minute figure on the list. Mahrez is just about second, but just bear in mind he does play less minutes than the other players. The 2 creative players, KDB and Bruno, more than make up for it with the expected assists per 90 minutes. De Bruyne also backs this up with the assists that he's outputting as well. Overall, there's not much between the non-penalty expected goal involvement per 90 minutes, but De Bruyne is first, so I will give him the credit for that. Bruno's goal tally is pretty impressive. Let's face it, he's great at finishing. He showed that at the end of last season and he's showing it this season as well. United also get a lot of penalties, so that helps him out. He has the highest penalty appeal in the Premier League in my opinion. Even more than Vardy if you look at how many penalties United get every single season. And I say that every video, I know, but you've got to stress it because it is important. And out of all the other players, Timo Werner looks like the only player that's guaranteed to take penalties as he took them off Jorginho. There's no guarantee that Aguero won't play and take the penalties off De Bruyne, and that also rules out Mahrez. Werner's opponents Leeds have the worst expected goals conceded on the list. It probably doesn't help that they've conceded the most penalties as well. As for the 2 City lads, De Bruyne and Mahrez, they come up against Fulham, who've conceded the most goals in the Premier League this season. Alright, they might have improved recently, but they've definitely not done enough to suggest any safety at the back, and they won't be turning any corners at the Etihad either. And that leaves Fernandes, who has the toughest opponents on the list statistically, West Ham. This week, the odds state that De Bruyne has the best chance of getting an assist, and in fact, they imply that he has the best chance of getting a return overall. They also state that Werner has the best chance of scoring, and don't forget you get an extra point for every goal than an assist. But also remember that the midfielder gets an extra point for a goal than a forward does. It doesn't take a genius to work out that the odds and points projections point to a City haul. The Fantasy Football Fixed points projections are projecting De Bruyne to get 8.4 points, which is a really high tally. Okay, so we've analysed enough data to make a decision. This player is the highest non-penalty expected goal involvement per 90 minutes statistic. He faces the team who have conceded the most goals in the Premier League this season. He is the most expensive on the list for a reason. The odds and points projections imply that he has the best chance of a double-digit haul this week, and he's the most reliable player in FPL for the past year and a half. So based on all of this information, the best captain this week is Kevin De Bruyne.